What's good, everyone? Xavier here from What You Expect. And here we have a very special guest today coming from H-Town, coming off the release of his EP, Table Manners. Here, the one, the only, Silo. What's good, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good.
Nice, nice, nice. So coming off the EP, I just know what are your thoughts on, releasing this project? What are your thoughts on just moving forward with this?
Man, like it's truly been a blessing. This is the first time I've released something with like being in the state of mind that I've been in, being at peace with myself, my faith in God, everything's just been aligning. Um, and when I put my priorities in order. So yeah, it's just been great, man. Like the response has been great. I no longer put out music with like the validation, trying to seek for validation from from other people, because I know at the end of the day, God's gonna take the message to the people who can resonate with it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
so it's been great.
Well, no, for sure. And I want to dive into it because that kind of piggybacks into the EP, how each song represents a unique theme or gives a lesson based off those experiences. So I want to know where each song or the songwriting process was based off your own personal experiences with that, or just more so of just the feeling of what you're feeling into the studio.
To be honest, anything that most of what I do create comes from a personal place. Um, did you want to go with like in order of like the tracks?
However you want to go, however you want to go. We digging deep into this, so we got you.
Okay. I don't want to dig too deep just because I want the listeners to get some things, but I'll go deep enough. I'll go deep enough. So we start off with the overall theme, right? So we got table manners. Um, I kind of had a problem. I say kind of like I had a nigga. I had a problem like with comparing myself. Like no matter what, I would always be looking at the next person and be like, "Damn, man, how come they got XYZ and I'm working my ass off and and it wasn't even on no hater type shit. Like I want what they have. It was more so like, why can't I have that as well? You know what I'm saying? Or my own version of that. And there was some instances, to be honest, there was some instances where I was like, why can't I have what they have? You know, but overall it was just me, just a comparison, and I equate that to when you're at, a friend's birthday dinner or whatever, and everybody's ordering food, right? The food comes out, your plate comes out. Let's say you get your food first, you're like, yeah, this is what I wanted, right? And then somebody gets something and the food is sizzling. You know what I'm saying? The chicken looking all smooth, and you just looking, you like, hold up, I should have ordered that. You know what I'm saying? And you have no idea what that tastes like. Like your food could be like fire, but you're looking at somebody else's food the whole time, like I should have got that, I should have blah 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 blah. When they probably not even enjoying the food. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they could be enjoying the food, but um it might be something that there might be an ingredient in there that you're allergic to. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's just like everything's not for you. You just got to focus on your own, and focus on yourself, really. So that leads me into clap for me, which is was my longing and my need um, for a long time in my life to have like some type of support, right? Especially being in the music industry or just in entertainment period or even an entrepreneur, like you're often your own person clapping, cheering yourself on, cheering yourself on. And you can only clap for so long. You know what I'm saying? Your hands gonna get tired. So it was just like my need for to have at least that one person to just be able to like support me. Um, and give me that extra push when I'm feeling down. And then we get into I need, which I won't go too deep into, but it's kind of summarizing the idea of table manners, which is like, this is me wanting all these things. This is what I need. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. And then I'm kind of telling myself, like, are you sure you want that? Like this, you should stop chasing what everybody has, you know what I'm saying? Focus on what you have. Um, and then we go into snack, which is going into the idea of not settling for a piece of somebody, right? And then at the same time, not giving just a piece of yourself, you know. So it's like it's mainly focused on like, a romantic relationship type of thing, but it can also be for, friendships as well. But I find a lot of times we just it's a popular term like, "Oh, I'm a snack, I'm this and that," and it's like, nah, I want a full course meal. Like, you know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who gonna go to a restaurant and just order like the smallest, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can afford it, get the full course meal, you know? So that's pretty much what Snack is about. And then we go into the title track, which is Table Manners. And that goes into deep about me loving myself and how I compare myself to other people. And I think my favorite couple lines in that song is where I'm saying, comparing myself motivated me to just trip. It almost took me out. It's looking like I'm a field trip. No, actually, the guilt, it made it more of a guilt trip. So um, I just was just spiraling into just like putting myself down just because I didn't look like other people. And I also talk about how I just would scroll on Instagram and I'm comparing my life. I know every experience in every moment of your life, the good, the bad, you know what I'm saying? The peace, which is, that steady moment. And, we just sit here and compare all of that to somebody's highlight reel. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And then constantly put ourselves down and just all this stuff. And it's just like, yo, like that's not the way. And I don't want to um before I finish off the rest of everything, I don't want to make it seem like I have the answers because I don't. I'm just simply giving my experiences, and I know that um, when people listen and they can relate, that in itself is a healing factor. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about self-reflection. Um, but yeah, so then that goes into the next song, which is called "Pick Up," and it's just mainly just about like me noticing finally like what I've gotten myself into by not really loving myself. And I'm trying to take a stand with the girl that I'm dealing with because I haven't loved myself. I wasn't dealing with the right type of woman. And I'm being stubborn, like I'm not about to pick up for you. She's like, I'm not about to pick up for you. And then I start realizing I'm like, hold on, because I was the type of person who's always trying to help, always trying to help, always trying to
Right.
um, help a broken person while I'm broken myself. And then I realized, I think it was the first line in the second verse. I was like, it's not up to me to get rid of your trust issues.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and like that's pretty much as deep as I'll go into that song. I want the people to uncover more with that. Um, then we get into Get You Some. Uh, it's that track right there. I think is probably the fastest track that I made on the project. But that one goes into the theme of sacrifices. All the sacrifices you pretty much made in your life. You know what I'm saying? Whether you sacrificed for something you thought was worth it and it wasn't, or you sacrificed for something that you thought you was gonna get and didn't. Just sacrifices in general. And all these sacrifices you're doing, you're kind of building yourself up to be this person, the ideal person that you want to be. It's kind of like you're kind of like filling your cup, or
Mm.
in a way, building your plate, right? So you putting all these little, you got your sides, your starters, your the main like the entree, like you making it look real nice, and you're trying to be this person to like help everybody out. Um, and you realize that like oftentimes like as a chef, and a lot of chefs will probably relate to this, is like you cooking for everybody for the family function, and everybody get to eat and there's nothing left over for you. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what Get You Some is about. It's about providing for, a lot of people and not having enough for yourself. And that in itself is another sacrifice. Then we go into My Fault, which is one of my favorites. It's like me kind of realizing, like, but I'm in denial of why I became like this. And I start off the hook like it can't be my fault. Like you made me, like you caused this. So now I'm pointing the finger. I'm like, you the one that did all this shit.
Right.
But I'm gonna give a little, secret. That's actually going back to the cover of the project. So those who've seen the cover will notice that that's all me on the cover. In the middle one, I'm treating myself, feeding myself, healing myself, and then you got some people not really bothered by it, but some of the me's are like getting mad, sticking up the middle finger, like you know what I'm saying, showing that you can be your own worst enemy. So going back to My Fault is like I'm saying you pointing at you, but really I'm pointing at me, like you made me, I made me. You know what I'm saying? And I just go into different struggles that I faced and the kind of things that made me the way that I am. And then on Let Me Explain is the time where I realized uh, all of this. And I start off the song by saying, I need to find me instead of letting y'all define me.
Right.
Um, and it's like I'm going through, my life struggles and my trauma. And the hook is kind of like, hold on, like let me just explain, let me explain. And I keep saying this line throughout the song where I say it wasn't me. And it's kind of like a play on Shaggy, like that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And
Fact.
it's kind of like saying that what you see is not me. What you've seen isn't me. It's my trauma that I put on. You know what I mean? Um, and then we go into Breakfast, which is more of a hopeful song. Also dealing with the sacrifices and just praying that I do get my blessing, which is that breakfast, that meal. And that's as deep as I'll go into that one. But yeah, it's a pretty dense project.
No doubt. And you're in the project, you're peeling a lot of layers of yourself. I would know, what were some steps that you have taken, in your personal journey, that way you're able to, self-reflect and, be able to reveal this in your project.
Man, number one, God, a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting, and then also, I have a I have a really good support system. Um, like when it comes to friends, um, they allow me to be vulnerable, and then it's just even like end up going to therapy. You know what I'm saying? And have been in therapy for past like year and a half. Like taking that step into like bettering myself and healing myself from all these, all this trauma. And I feel like what not only going through therapy, but making sure that I am going through therapy even when I'm at peace,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Maintain all that.
exactly. It's like working out, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to work out every once a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm getting my belly again. Let me go back to this. It's gonna be hard every single time. You know what I'm saying? But and you're never gonna get the results you want. You're never gonna be truly healthy. But if you're working out consistently, you know what I'm saying, 3 times a week, even 2 times a week, you know what I'm saying, and um, your body just gets in a state where it's just metabolism speeds up, everything just starts working better. Um, and then those times where you might miss a month, but after a lot of times of being consistent, that month that you miss isn't really going to take you all the way down to back to where you started. So just being on myself, staying disciplined in everything, especially therapy, making sure that I'm going as much as I can.
Now, with that, well, congratulations, for admitting that you been going to therapy, and salute to you for
Thank you.
taking those steps, taking those processes. That's something that's not really too prevalent in our community. So I would know, like, how can we as a community continue to use those resources while we have access to them.
Oh man, honestly, like I think the knowledge is already out there, right? I feel like we've done a good job of spreading the uh or trying to normalize the word therapy.
Right.
Um, but I think at this point we just need, and I'm speaking specifically to Black people. I feel like we need more. I don't want to say Black therapists because there's plenty of Black women who are therapists. Um, Let me make it more specific and say Black men,
Okay.
because the problem that I found when I was looking for a therapist, um, I couldn't find a Black male therapist. The ones that I did find, and I went through a list. It is like a website that had like thousands. Like
Right.
I'm going through pages and pages and pages, and these are only Black therapists. And every time I get to like a male therapist, well, the woman therapist will be like, I specialize in XYZ, and it'll be like a long paragraph of what they specifically specialize in. And I'm like, okay, that's not the one for me. And I get to the men, and it'll say, I specialize in marriage counseling and infidelity. Every single one. And I'm like, what? I'm like, why is that the only thing in our community that we feel like we should go to therapy about? Like literally every single one I'm looking at. So um I I was like, well, I'm not about to go to these therapists who are only dealing with that. So I
Right.
picked me a Black woman, she's great. But I feel like that in itself is a problem where it's like we can't, if that's the only thing in our minds in our minds uh, that warrant therapy, like I'm trying to articulate this properly. Like that has to be the case.
Right.
The fact that we only think that that's the only time we should go to therapy because that's the only thing these guys are putting up. It's like this is what's working. This is where I'm going to make my money because this is the only time Black men are going to come to therapy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't have the answers, man. Like I don't know. I see the problems and I see where we need to fix it as far as how.
Mhm.
The only thing I know is like accountability first. You got to take accountability, and we just gotta change the mindset around therapy. We have an idea that like anything can be wrong with you. Like you can be weak and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, but whenever it's something like dealing with any type of like hospital type shit, like
It's no go.
it's like my finger's broken. Or I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying? Or my mind is broken. Nah, I'm good. Like a nigga would literally tell you, like, hey, bro, like my mind is fucked up right now. Like they'll literally tell you, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And there'll be a nigga who he got the money for it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, you should go to therapy. Like, nah, I'm good. I got it. I can handle myself. You know what
It's
I'm saying? It's
have
like
too much pride in them.
too much pride, too much pride, and we want to fix things ourselves a lot of times, and it's like I was telling my friend, I was like, it's like somebody practicing every day on at the neighborhood court practicing, and then somebody sees them and is like, hey yo, you got some, I could get you um, I get you into the league. I can get you into some tryouts for the league. You just got to follow my training program, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, nah, I'm good. Like, but you want to be there,
Yeah.
but somebody's offering you the help and you just like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay over here and do this myself. It's like, if you have the access to the help, why are you denying it? So, sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but yeah.
Nah, you're good. And you explain all that. That helps us, be able to be like, okay, it's okay to seek help at the end of the day. So
Yeah, yeah.
definitely for sure with you for that. Just to piggyback on on your background, you're coming from Houston, you're growing up in a Nigerian household, how has those two dynamic elements, influenced your musical style?
Sheesh, man, it was a clash, but complete clash. Like growing up, there was not really any music played in the house. Um, my dad had one artist he would play, and he had like 45-minute songs. And so it just sounded like the same loop over and over again. Um, and he wouldn't let me listen to like any type of like outside music, like especially rap, because he couldn't in his head he couldn't grasp the idea of rap. He uh he thought that they were trying to sing, but they weren't hitting any notes.
Mhm.
So he was like, "This is not even music." Like he just couldn't grasp it. So one of my cousins, he was staying with us when he moved to Houston for college, and he convinced my dad to let me get my first CD, which was Ludacris Back for the First Time.
Hey,
And I don't even know how I comprehended that title, but like when I seen that title, it just like I had no idea who Ludacris was. I just seen the CD and the title was just like, this is so cool, Back for the First Time. What is it made no sense to me. So um, and Ludacris ended up becoming my first favorite rapper for a while, and then I started getting into Genuine for with the R&B, and then somebody showed me Sister Act 2, and that's where it all started when I seen Lauryn Hill. And at that point, it was just like I didn't know I wanted to do music at that point,
right.
but I knew my favorite like style of music. You know what I mean? And then when I finally decided that I wanted to do music, this was around the age 14, man, I kept it a secret. Um, I was able to finesse because I had a PS2 headset and I was able to download some programs and I would record songs off the PS2 headset. And when my parents finally found out that I was doing music, man, it was like it was World War III, man. Like they're cool now, they support now, but back then it was like I really, really felt like an adopted child, like because they're straight up like you need to study your books, be a lawyer, doctor. I mean, every Nigerian is knows this story. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was like the complete opposite. Like I had been drawing since I was 4. Like art is just in me, right? And you would think that even with success, they would like back off. Um, but I realized that they just were like at odds with just that type of way of being. Because I was seeing a lot of success with drawing. Like I was winning state competitions. Like I was really, really good. I was getting scholarships all over the country, and they just could not see it.
Mhm.
So when I ended up moving back to Houston, I finessed. I went to school in Louisiana, and I told him I wanted to come back to Houston because I forgot what excuse I told him, but I really wanted to get back into doing music. And I knew that Houston was the place to be, um, at least for me to build my base. And when I did that, I eventually dropped out of school, and that was like, that's a whole album in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was tough, man. It was tough. But now it's like a complete like 180 with my parents. I think they finally see that this is who I am, and there's a lot of love there. And at the end of the day, I seen that as I get older, you start to realize the things that your parents say, like what they're saying is because they're trying to protect you, and you didn't necessarily see what they were trying to protect you from. So you just thought that they were just like they hated you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a beautiful experience, man. Definitely a rocky one, but uh, it's it allowed me to fully tap into, I think because of that rebellious kid energy, and my parents wanted me not to do something, and then you're a kid, you want to do something so bad when your parents say no.
Right.
So that allowed me to fully tap into what I wanted to do. Maybe if they would have supported, I don't know if I would, be wanting to do it. You never know. So um yeah, that definitely had a big influence just on my career as a whole up to this point.
Nice, nice. And you're able to see it, have that illustrated, through your music, through table manners. You see those elements from your story being implemented into there. I just want to know, coming off the heels of that now, what can we expect from Sile in 2023? Can we expect more music, more tours? Just I want to know how we're progressing forward now.
Um Actually, before I get to that, you just reminded me of something that I forgot to add.
Mhm,
A lot of that, the trauma that I spoke of in table manners and the idea of comparison comes from the way that they raised me.
mhm.
Africans have this thing where they always compare you to other kids, and they're like, you know, you see, blah 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 blah. Why don't you be like them? And you sitting there like, hey, that kid is selling drugs in class, and we're 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Facts.
you have no idea what they do, but when that's implanted into your mind, you grow up and you just like, damn, now that's your natural way of thinking.
Mhm.
But yeah, moving forward to your next question, 2023, man. To be honest, I'm always working on music, and I'm literally like, I'm just like following what God is telling me to do. So I don't want to put anything concrete that hasn't been set in stone yet. What we do have though is a headlining show coming up in May.
Okay.
Um, and then if God has a tour for me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bring it. You know what I'm saying? And definitely music, more music as well. But I'm really trying to push in this table manners because I feel like the world needs to hear it. You know?
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Now, before we hop on the call, you did mention you had some great news today. I want to know, can we possibly see something with that person if you want to share?
Say that one more time.
I said before we hopped on the call, you said you had some great news from
Oh
somebody
yeah, yeah,
big.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey man. You know what I'm saying? Jill Scott just followed me on Instagram. I don't even know. Maybe she found me on TikTok. I don't know. But I'm hoping. Jill Scott was like a huge influence growing up. Like huge, huge, huge. I personally think she's like her vocal ability. I compare it to like a saxophone. And she has like my favorite live performance she did, living my life like it's golden.
Yes,
It's
yes,
Paris. It's I forgot the exact name, but it's live in Paris. The whole performance is crazy, but that specific, like if you listen to it, she does so many different like styles of living my life like it's golden. And she just switches and switches and switches, and you can hear it's crazy. So and she even influenced the way that I do music. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm, you know, singing and then I'm going into the poetry and then coming back out and singing and like, so it is definitely amazing. I pray that we can do something in the future. I already have some songs in mind, so that would be great. That would be great.
no doubt, no doubt. Definitely got speaking to existence, got put it to the air. God willing, we get
Yes,
a
sir.
Gil Scott track coming up. That definitely will flood
Amen.
the streets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt, no doubt. But I definitely appreciate you taking the time today, Sayo, for speaking with us. Congratulations again on releasing your EP, Table Manners. Make sure you guys download, stream that on whatever platform you listen to. Definitely follow Sayo on all social platforms on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok for more updates for him. And also for more updates in the music world, make sure to follow Lowkey R&B and What You Expect on Instagram and visit whatyouexpect.com.
Yes, sir.